Hi, I'm Allison of The Allison Show and Allison's Brand School, and I am so excited to be here today to bring you this training, how to use social media as you, yes you, to amplify your business. But first, who am I? Who am I? And why am I so excited to be talking about this? I have been working with your corporate offices for the last 6 months or so. I've been interviewing your top trainers, leaders, lots of people in your industry, but I myself have been building a personal brand for over the last decade. And over the last 5 years, I have taken trainings all across the country to help thousands upon thousands of business leaders, personal branders, marketers, direct sales people learn how to clearly communicate their message, clearly communicate their beliefs, and clearly communicate what it is they have to offer so that they can attract people who believe what they believe. So here's what I'm all about. Here's what I want to do for you. And this is what I do in the work I do for myself and the people I work with one-on-one. I want to help you have more fun, more focus, and more clarity in the work you're doing so that you can find more success. And this is what I believe and know to be true with my whole heart. I am so passionate about this. So that's why this training isn't called How to Use Social Media to Amplify Your Business. You don't have to be bright and loud and crazy like me to be successful on social media. Like I said, I have worked with thousands of people, and I have time-proven methods that are simple, but you get to do them as you. So let's just all take a deep breath right now. Mostly you guys, I do that for me, okay? But we're gonna take a deep breath. And all of those preconceived notions you have about social media, all of the things about social media that stress you out or make you feel like, what? This is what I hear, okay? It's a waste of your time. Yeah, it's a waste of your time. I don't understand it. It's not bringing me, okay, so I'm gonna get these followers and they're gonna bring me more money. I'm spending all this time there. I'm not seeing more money. And I'm not like the type of person who does this. Basically, what I hear most people say is that I can't use my skills and what I'm good at to make social media work for me. I feel you, I get you. I have such a crazy relationship with social media. I have used it to help me build a very large platform. I have a podcast that has reached over 4 million people. I talk to people all across the world, not just all across the country, all across the world with my social media platforms. It helps put food on the table for my family, and you guys, sometimes I still hate it. Sometimes it drives me crazy, and so often I have felt like in order to be successful, I have to be this certain kind of person to make social media work for me. And about 3 or 4 years ago, I was like, no more. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm successful, but I'm miserable in this success. So I sat down and I created Allison's Brand School. And Allison's Brand School helps people understand why they do what they do, what makes them unique, special, and what they're awesome at, and then helps you infuse it into your business so that you can scale it and grow it in a sustainable, enjoyable way. And that's why my whole life, honestly, is different, because I started not only using social media as me, as Allison, this is how I treat my whole business. So the principles we're gonna talk about today, and like I said, there are universal tools, and I am gonna give you 3. I'm gonna give you 3 universal tools, and they're gonna apply to social media, but I want you to also think about how they apply to other areas of your business. The way this training is gonna be the most beneficial for you is if you stop right now and you think, what is a pain point I have? Go ahead, get out a piece of paper, pause the video. A goal not written is only a wish. If it's to be, it's up to me, okay? Write it down. What's a pain point you have? It doesn't have to be with social media. And as I teach you these 3 universal tools today, I want you to ask, how could one of these tools serve me? One thing I love about Nu Skin is that you guys are a global company. So when I say social media, depending on what part of the country you're in, it's gonna mean something primarily different to you. These tools, it doesn't matter if you're using WeChat, Facebook, or Instagram. It doesn't matter if you're getting crazy and you're joining TikTok. These tools apply to all social media platforms. I know that WeChat has very different restrictions and different usage than Instagram. So that's why I was so excited to interview Nu Skin leaders who are successful using all of these platforms. So I took that information as well as my over a decade of experience growing a global brand myself on social media and the experience I've had working with thousands of entrepreneurs and looked at all of that to say, what are the 3 tools that right now are gonna help you be successful? Now, before we dive into those 3 tools, which they're so good. I'm so excited for you to have them. They're so good. Let's talk about how you feel about social media and what you view it as. I'm gonna tell you my personal pain point with social media, the story. We all have a story about social media. The story I've been telling myself recently is, I don't wanna live my whole life online. I've been doing this for a freaking decade, guys. I don't wanna live my whole life online anymore. I wanna be in my hot tub, having fun with my kids. We do have a lot of fun in the hot tub, me and my kids, and not feel like I have to pull out my phone. And that's absolutely a good thing that I've set those boundaries and those parameters. But it is not a true story that in order to help social media amplify my business, I have to let it run my whole life. And I know that's not a true story. I know that's not a true story. What we want is for social media to amplify your business, not control your business, not be your business, but serve you in your business. So I want to give you a couple of new lenses or lights to look at social media. At the end of the day, especially for direct sales, social media is a part of your sales funnel. That's it. So you pick the sales funnel. We're bringing people in. They're trickling down the funnel, and then you have your ultimate goal for them. Social media is just one of the awesome steps along that funnel. Which part? That's totally up to you. You can integrate as much social media or as little social media as you want and feels good to you, but ignoring it is ignoring millions of people. You want to be where the people are. Like Ariel in The Little Mermaid, you want to be where the people are, and the people are on social media. They're on Facebook, they're on WeChat, they're on Instagram. So, if you truly believe in what you're doing, and I know you do, because Nu Skin attracts people who believe in service, who believe in community, who believe in products that create a better life. That's why I love working with Nu Skin. If you believe in what you have to offer, whether it's the opportunity for a better life through the beautiful business that Nu Skin can give them and has given you, or the products that you know are gonna empower them. I'm wearing Power Lips today. I'm feeling empowered. If you believe in that, you gotta be where the people are. And you have to meet people where they are. Social media is just a part of the sales funnel. It's not some magical lead generation tool. You're not gonna be able to just snap your fingers and have thousands and thousands of followers. You're gonna work. You're gonna expect from social media what it's good for, and what it's good for is connection. So let's get into those 3 tools for how you can use social media as you to amplify your business. Tool number 1 is be a human online. Yes. You are not a robot. This might come as a shock to you. I have to remind myself often that I am not a robot. Don't just be online. That's not tool number one. Tool number one is be a human online. You are in direct sales. Think about the word direct, human to human. There's no middleman. There's no middleman. I think unintentionally, oh my gosh, this is blowing my own mind right now because I think I do this. Unintentionally, we are letting social media be the middleman. And that's where we are getting stopped up. Remember, the point of this training is to help you find more fun, more focus, and more clarity so that you can use social media as you. So we need you to be the human you are online. I love this quote from Marie Forleo, a great online leader and trainer. She says, people don't fall in love with a product or service. They fall in love with how that product or service makes them feel. Think about that. People don't fall in love with a product or service. They're not just falling in love with the Lumi Spa. They're falling in love with the sense of freshness and accomplishment they feel after they use it. For me, when I use a tool like the Lumi Spa, I feel like a sense of control. Like I am taking charge of my skin. I am taking charge of this one moment of my day in a world where I have no control. And that is the feeling, that in control, take charge feeling that I fall in love with. Who can frame those stories and help people understand that that is what they're going to be getting? Another human. So how can you be a human online? Simply think about the things you love. I have spent so much time sharing on the internet. I am an expert at sharing things that later I wish I didn't share, but then learning how to share in a way that feels safe and sustainable. I'm not asking you to be someone or share more than you're comfortable sharing. That's not what we want to do. What I want you to do is I want you to think about some of your interests, some of your hobbies. And remember that if you were to meet someone in person, you wouldn't just walk right up to them and say, here's a sale on toothpaste. Here's the toothpaste. Here's all its features. Go ahead, take the toothpaste. No. When you are online, when you are creating content, again, whether it's for Facebook, WeChat, whether it's with your internal team that you're training up, remember it's okay to be a human. In fact, we need you to be a human. We need that connection. So I want to give you some examples of things that are so small and how you can use those to open up conversation. Do you love tacos? Do you love noodles? Do you love making your kids breakfast? So I love my nails. Nothing is too small or insignificant. I love my long nails. And during the pandemic, all the salons shut down. And I was so sad that I had to let go of my long nails. Now, what I do online is I help empower people to feel as awesome as they are. And I also teach business leaders like you how to do what they feel called to do. What do my nails have to do with any of that? Well, actually, my nails are one thing that I love that help me feel awesome. So when I was sad about my nails and having to let them go and cutting them off and all of that, I shared it online. This seems so small and insignificant, but that's why I'm sharing it with you. You would not believe how many people feel connected to me as a human because they feel similarly about their nails. Dozens upon dozens of direct messages of people saying, Allison, I tried press-on nails. Allison, your fingernails look awesome. How are they holding up? How are you doing? They don't even care about nails, but I gave them a way to connect with me. I gave them a way to talk to me. So I believe that insight is cute, but action is drop dead gorgeous. And for all of these tools, I want you to take action on them. How can you be more of a human online? What is something that you could share? What is a small interest that you have? Maybe it's a book. Maybe it's exercise. Maybe it's a podcast. And I want you to think, how could I easily share that today? I know this works because I've asked thousands of people to do it, and they've done it, and they turn around and they say, holy crap, how did you know this would work? And it's because as human beings, we crave connection. Yes, you're professional and you have your business, but even professional leaders stop and can open up about something that interests them. So often we think in order to be successful, we have to fit into this box and behave a certain way. But what people want, they don't want perfection. They don't want the robot. They want a human being. Can I get a yes if you're like, yeah, that's actually what I want. I want to connect to a human. And notice how I'm saying things like the food you're interested in, the books you're reading. You don't have to share your struggle with cancer. But if you want to, and you feel comfortable, you can. Just remember, we're letting social media be that middleman, and it's keeping us from the direct part of direct sales, which is human to human. Why is it hard to be a human online? Because if it were that simple, everybody would be doing it, and everyone could be using social media to amplify their business. It's hard because it requires vulnerability. And being vulnerable is easier for some people than other people. And I want to take a minute and acknowledge that, yes, I'm awesome at being vulnerable, but the way I was raised, my family, my social identity, it was really like friendly with that. And a lot of us were raised in different ways with families and different religions and different backgrounds and different countries. Where being open and being vulnerable, it's just not as easy. So I want to say that this might be difficult, but let me tell you why it is so important for direct sales. Because you want to connect with people. Brené Brown is an expert and author on the topics of vulnerability and shame. And she says this, we need trust in order to be vulnerable. But in order to be vulnerable, there has to be trust. So then it becomes a chicken and an egg situation. Okay. In order for people to trust you and trust that they can believe in the products you're selling and trust to believe that the opportunity you're offering them with the business and the life that Nu Skin can provide, in order for them to trust you, it requires vulnerability on your part. But in order for you to feel vulnerable, you want to trust them. So who goes first? You do. You have to be vulnerable first to build that trust because you're the one who wants something, right? You're the one who wants the relationship. You're the one who was vulnerable and open and took a chance with Nu Skin. Nu Skin was open and vulnerable and trusted with you, and now you're going to take that trust and be vulnerable and open up just a little bit and be a human online so you can establish better connections and relationships. So let's talk about the how. Let's talk about how you actually do this. Awesome, because we want to be able to take action today. Do not get online and tell everyone your whole backstory. You do not have to get online and bleed and cry. No. How can you share and be a little bit vulnerable in a way that feels safe and so you don't feel icky afterwards? Think about if you're standing in line at the post office or you're standing in line at the grocery store, and think about the amount of information you would feel comfortable sharing with someone you first met. I am going to share more information than a lot of you when I first meet someone. That's no surprise. So when you see me online, I'm sharing more than other people are going to feel comfortable with. But that is me being me. That is Allison being Allison online. I want you to be you online. So don't push past what you would naturally share with someone in person when you first meet them and you're trying to get to know them. And that's all I'm asking you to do. Tool number 1, be a human online. tool number 2 for how to use social media as you to amplify your business is use your UVPs. What are your UVPs? Your unique value propositions. All of us have unique value propositions. So if you think about a product like Power Lips, which I love, some of Power Lips' unique value propositions are, unlike a lot of other long-last lip wear, seriously, my lips feel so moisturized. They don't feel dry, and that is a unique value proposition of the Power Lips product. Now, you as a person have unique value propositions. And in order to be successful on social media, you need to make sure that you're using those. If it's that simple, again, why aren't we doing it? Because sometimes we think that either one, our unique value propositions aren't special, they don't matter, and they can't help us be successful. Or 2, we don't know what they are. Our unique value propositions can be hard to identify in ourselves because so often they are things that come naturally to you. So when I started sharing on social media, on Instagram specifically, and Instagram got video, I did what I thought any normal person would do. I held my phone up, this is again when it got video, and I put on Robin Thicke's Blurred Lines, and I was just like, hey guys! That's what everybody does when Instagram gets video. This is what I thought. So I put it on Instagram, and guess what happened? Hundreds and hundreds of people unfollowed me. They said, we don't want to see this girl dancing online. But then what happened after that is I shared this unique value proposition to me, which is I love nonsense dancing. Thousands and thousands of people were attracted to me, people who believe what I believe, people who want to have fun, people who like a little bit of silliness, nonsense dancing. And what happened from one video of me sharing dancing, sharing a unique value proposition, which I didn't even know was a unique value proposition, because I shared that online, me dancing turned into dance parties sponsored by Fortune 500 companies with thousands of people attending these dance parties over the course of a few years. And you want to know another unique value proposition that I would use at my dance parties? Puns. Yes, silly, stupid plays on words. I would have them be on signage at the dance parties. And one of my dance parties was called Shell Yes, and it was a mermaid-themed dance party. And that seems like something so small and insignificant, but by using my unique value propositions that come naturally and easy to me, I was able to put food on the table for my family and grow a really strong brand. That's what using your unique value propositions, your UVPs, will help you do. It's gonna help you build a brand, a strong personal brand, in a sustainable way. So how can we identify some of your unique value propositions? Because remember, I want you to use social media as you. You don't have to be a nonsense dancing, silly word using person like me. I want you to be you online to amplify your business. A great way to identify some of your UVPs is to think of things that you think are weaknesses. And then I want you to flip them on their head and see how they actually have also been a strength in your life. So my whole life, people have told me that I'm too much, I'm too loud, I'm too big, I have too much energy. Well, guess what? I get paid to bring this big energy to stages across the country. So something that has been seen as a weakness and something I need to tone down in my life, my energy, my big energy, is one of my unique value propositions. So many of us look at our weaknesses first, and you can be one of the fastest people to point out your weaknesses. So I want to help you identify your unique value propositions. Think of some of your weaknesses, and you do have an action plan. You have a worksheet that is with this video. Print that, get that, write it down. What is something that you've seen as a weakness, but flip it, and I want to know how it can be a strength. Another way to identify some of your unique value propositions is to ask people in your life. Coworkers, people on your team, maybe a spouse, a partner. Sometimes I even ask my kids, which can be a bad idea. Sometimes I'm like, what's mommy good at? What does mommy need to do better at? They're gonna tell me what I need to do better at. But there are people in your life who can see what you're great at and see what your special qualities are and help point them out to you when you have a hard time seeing them. I want you to think of skills you already have. I want you to think of qualities that you got from other areas of your life. And I want you to examine how you could be using them on social media. Let's say you've been an athlete. If you're an athlete, you are good at training, you're good at systems. You're good at saying, on Mondays we do this, on Tuesdays we do this. Treat social media the same way. If you are good at systems, I am terrible at systems. I am terrible at systems. If you are good at systems, use systems in your social media planning. On Mondays, I'm gonna talk about a product I'm excited about. On Tuesdays, I'm gonna talk about time I've spent with my family. On Wednesdays, I'm gonna talk about a book I've read, right? That you come up with a system and implement that on social media. I know so many people at New Skin and who are attracted to direct sales are good cheerleaders. Not like cheerleaders, but you're good supporters. You love connection. You love people. You want to empower other people. You know what people who love other people are good at? Telling stories of people who inspire them. So if you are a good cheerleader, if you're a good supporter and you don't like all the spotlight, share stories of people who are inspiring you on social media. If you like nonsense dancing and it's easy for you to nonsense dance, do that on social media. What are your unique value propositions? What are things that feel easy and effortless for you? I've actually changed my entire business based on this. It is very easy for me to talk to camera. I've done it a lot. I've practiced a lot. It's easy for me to talk. So I started a podcast. And like I said, that podcast has reached 4 million now because I started focusing on what can I do that doesn't drain me so that I can share what I want to share with the world. Take that same idea and put it to social media. So often we think in order to be successful, there's that box, I better fit in the box. But instead, to really let social media amplify your business, think of what social media is good for. Connecting with people, getting your message out there, meeting new people you've never met before, and let it fit your box. Let social media serve you. Social media is not the master of you. You are the master of social media. Think about your unique value propositions and how you can today use them to amplify the work you're doing. Now, as you start doing this, you're gonna say, okay, Allison, I'm being a human online. I'm talking about tacos or my nails or something that I love, and I'm doing it in a way that serves me, my unique value propositions. So maybe you're a good writer. Maybe you like creating beautiful visuals. You're doing it in a way that serves you. And Allison, I tried it and it's not working. So now I'm gonna stop doing it. Do you know how often I get this, guys? I want to challenge you to try it for 2 to 3 months before you quit. Consistency matters just as much as your content on social media. And that is just an extra bonus tip from the old pro here. You have to give people time to get on board with you. Social media is oversaturated and overcrowded. People are not seeing all of your messages. You need to try something a couple times a week or once a week for 2 to 3 months before you really decide if it's gonna work for you or not work for you. The other thing I want to challenge you to do is to re-examine your definition of success. So often with social media, we see success as more followers. I work with so many people who have over 100,000 followers. They do not have $100,000. Stop. Wait a minute. They have 100,000 followers, but they don't know how to make $100,000. If you get caught up thinking more followers equals more leads equals more money, more quality connections will result in more leads. So rather than focusing on success as more followers, focus on success being more quality connections, more people who are actually interested and take action, and just really focus on that, rather than focusing on more followers, because that is the freaking rabbit hole of social media and you will be nothing but miserable. Show up as a human online. That's tip number 1. Use your unique value propositions. That's tip number 2. And now we're ready for tip number 3. Tool number 3 is treat every account like a human. I had so much fun interviewing some of Nu Skin's top leaders. And you want to know what my biggest takeaway was after talking to your top leaders? I am a lazy, entitled princess on social media. These people are working their butts off. The people who are successful on social media are working their butts off on social media, period. But one of the things that I took away that your top leaders do, that it inspired me and helped reminded me to do it too, is to treat every account like a human. People who are successful, and remember that definition of success isn't just more followers. It's more connection, more money, more meaningful leads. The people who are successful, they treat every account like a human. They count like this: 1, 1, 1, 1. Each account is a person, a real human being that you can connect with. And so often, this is how we count on social media. 1, 100, 200, 1,000, 2,000. Why isn't it 3,000? Why isn't it 10,000? I can't believe it's not 40,000. We're treating people like a number instead of treating them like a human. So remember, tool number 1 was to be a human online. And tool number 3 is bringing it full circle. Treat others like human beings online. How do we do this? Because we want to take action today. I want you guys to start doing these 3 tools right now. One of the easiest ways to do that is just to decide that every day you're going to take 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. What is an amount of time that you can decide to spend going online and looking for ways to connect with people? Social media has changed for me over the last couple of weeks, and here is my trick. I get on there, and when I'm scrolling, I look for things to compliment people about and cheer for people about. I am having so much more fun on social media because I remember that there are people on the other side of their phone who created content, shared something, and are hoping that it touches someone and that they connect with someone. And instead of just scrolling through, I stop and I think about that person. And I have dedicated 20 to 30 minutes a day to doing this. It's making my attitude about social media better. It's making me show up for other people. How much time can you dedicate a day to go and treat those accounts like human beings? Because that's what they are. They're human beings that you can connect with, that you can have shared interests with. And yes, they might turn into people who are interested in what you have to offer from Nu Skin. Another way to treat those accounts like humans is to follow up. It blew my mind what your top leaders do. So let's say you post a video on Instagram and nobody comments. Oh, it's so vulnerable. It's the worst when you share someone and no one comments. What some of your top leaders do is they go and they look at the people who viewed it, and they go to their account and they look at their content, and then they thank them and say, hey, I saw that you viewed my video. I went and looked at something you posted and I loved it. And that opens up a conversation. If you are stuck thinking that you don't have comments, that you're not growing, get in there and invest in people who are investing in you. When you invest in anyone who is spending time with you, you will grow rich. You will have more people. You will have more connections. But you have to remember that they're not just numbers. They're not just quick leads. They're humans, and you need to connect with them like a human. Another way to remember that those accounts are humans is to offer value. Offer value. Free trainings, recipes, suggestions, ideas, entertainment is also value. How can you offer value online? You're like, I'm offering products. I'm offering them an opportunity. That is not valuable to them yet. People don't care about your product or service. They want their problem solved. So how can you solve people's problems? How can you offer solutions? Remember, tip number 2 was using those unique value propositions. How can you take some of the things that come naturally to you, ideas that you have, things that you love to do, and share suggestions? People don't want to be preached at. They want to have a conversation. You can offer value with a conversation. You can offer value with ideas. At the end of the day, one of the best things you can do is care more about the people you're serving than you do about the exact precise way that you serve them. What do I mean by that? You know you have awesome products and awesome opportunities with the work you're doing at Nu Skin. And what can kind of happen is we want to force everybody to see it and we want to shove it down their throat, right? Because we know it's good for them. But if you truly stop and think, I want to help people see how this can improve their lives, and you get creative about how to share that and to talk about other parts of your life that are awesome and open up a little bit and be a human online, you're going to attract people. And that is so much more powerful and less exhausting than walking out and trying to grab people one by one off the street. Just by effortlessly sharing, offer value, dedicating time every day to connect with people. And remember to count people, the people you're connecting with online, 1, 1, 1, rather than 1, 100, 200, 300. I want you to get started today. I want you to get started right now. So we have 3 do it today action items that touch on all of these tools that we covered today. Our first universal tool for using social media as you to amplify your business was be a human online. So how can you take action on that today? What is something I am interested in that I can share? Ask yourself that question. And then get online, Facebook, Instagram, WeChat, I don't care where, get online and share it. If you've never tried Instagram stories, if you've never tried Facebook stories or a Facebook Live, try one. Try one. Tool number 2 was examine what your unique value propositions are. You can't take action on these unless you establish a few of them. So make sure today, this is going to take you less than 5 or 10 minutes. Today, you come up with at least 1 or 2 unique value propositions. I gave you tips on how to do that. Look at your worksheet and ask yourself, how can I take those unique value propositions and show up on social media with them? And tool number 3, treat every account like a human. I want you to decide and make a plan. What platform or what parts of the platform, so what social media platform, and let's say it's Facebook, am I going to use to connect with people today? Maybe it's comments, maybe it's stories, maybe it's direct messages, maybe you're getting on WeChat and you're messaging other people, you're starting a new group. Whatever it is, I want you to take action today to connect with people and put that plan in place. I hope this has helped you learn better how you, as you, can be successful online. And here's what I know and here's what I believe. We need what you have to give. The world is a beautiful, diverse place, and the way you share your message, the story you have to share, and what you have to offer is needed and important. And when you're thinking about yourself and you're worried about it being perfect and you're worried about looking a certain way, you stay in your head and you don't get out there and share it. What we need is more connection. What we need is more people who are willing to be themselves and say, I'm not perfect, I'm not a robot, I'm a human, but I have something to offer. I think it could help. Let's have a conversation. And that's what social media is so powerful for. I'm going to leave you guys with what I say at the end of every one of my podcast episodes. It's my truth. It's what I believe. Only you can be you, and you are already as awesome as you need to be. Get out there and share it.